Don't you just love a quiet walk in the woods? The birds chirping, the wind rustling through the leaves. It's usually so peaceful, but for Josh, his afternoon hike took a turn he never could have imagined. It all started with a sound, a faint whimper that at first he thought was just a lost animal. But as he got closer, the sound became clearer, more distinct. It was the sound of a baby crying. Why would a baby be crying out here, in the middle of nowhere? Every instinct told him to turn back, to ignore it, but his conscience wouldn't let him. He had to find the source. He pushed through thick underbrush, following the increasingly desperate cries until the ground beneath his feet changed. It became soft, unstable. He looked down and saw it a massive sinkhole, a dark scar in the earth that hadn't been there before. The crying was coming from inside. Peering over the edge, he saw something that made his blood run cold. At the bottom of the pit, maybe 20 feet down, was a circle of half-melted candles. In the center of the circle, something was sticking out of the dirt. It was a hand. A pale, waxy hand, its fingers curled as if reaching for something. Josh felt a wave of nausea. Was this a burial site? A ritual? He almost ran, but the baby's cries, now weaker, more pitiful, held him in place. He had to know. He carefully slid down the loose dirt wall of the sinkhole, his heart pounding in his chest. As he landed at the bottom, the smell of damp earth and burnt wax filled his nostrils. He approached the hand cautiously. It was definitely not real. It looked like it was made of porcelain or some kind of resin. But why was it here? Then he saw it. Next to the buried hand was a small, ornate wooden box, partially covered in dirt. The crying was definitely coming from inside the box. Hesitantly, he brushed the soil away and lifted the lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded red velvet, was not a baby, but an old antique tape recorder, the spool still slowly turning. The crying was coming from its tiny speaker. Relief washed over him, quickly followed by confusion. Who would do this? Who would go to all this trouble to stage such a bizarre and unsettling scene? As he reached in to turn off the recorder, the crying suddenly stopped. Silence. A heavy, suffocating silence that was far more terrifying than the crying had been. That's when he heard a new sound, a low chuckle that seemed to come from right behind him. He froze, his hand hovering over the box. The chuckle grew louder, a dry, rattling sound that echoed around the walls of the sinkhole. He slowly turned his head, his eyes wide with fear. Standing at the edge of the pit, silhouetted against the afternoon sun, was a figure. It was tall and unnaturally thin, wearing what looked like old, tattered clothes. And it was smiling, a wide, predatory grin that stretched too far across its gaunt face. Josh didn't scream. He couldn't. All he could do was stare as the figure took a slow, deliberate step forward, its long, spindly fingers twitching at its sides. He had followed the sound of a crying baby, and it had led him right into a trap. And as the figure began to slide down into the sinkhole with him, Josh knew he wasn't getting out. He had found the source of the crying, but in doing so, he had become the main event. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more chills. Let me know in the comments what you would have done if you were in Josh's shoes. Stay safe out there, and see you next time.